Hey, I'm Zach. Welcome to MNF Reps. Andrew Koshi is a standout pitcher from New York, and he's headed into his senior year of high school en route to Wake Forest. Our discussion touched on a handful of topics, but veered heavily into his mentality, his priorities, how he processes mistakes and trash talk, and his advice for others who strive to play at the next level. But truth be told, he's lucky old Slugger didn't step into the batter's box. No, he'd strike me out. All right. Hope you like it. Thanks. Huge thanks to Gatorade's GX app for sponsoring this episode of MNF Reps. You can download the app right now on iOS. And guess what? It's free. Say someone's younger and looking to you for advice. Hey, I want to be a D1 baseball player one day. What's the advice you give them?
You got to figure out if you want the game or not when you're younger. Like you're growing up, you got to figure it out. If I want to play this, I got to put the work in. You got to eat right. You got to work out. Definitely enjoy the game, have fun, but you got to figure out if you want or not first.
Let me get this right. I was told you throw an 84-mile-an-hour fastball. Is that accurate? Or is that low?
No.
Not 97, right? That's what I said.
Yeah, 97.
Okay, you're signed to Wake Forest, so you're going there. And when did you sign? When did you commit?
So I committed December 10th of 2021.
So you knew, even going into last season, that you were where you were signed. When you're in that position, do you feel this pressure to stay healthy, don't do anything risky to where you might injure yourself, or are you just going to continue to do what you always did?
At first, I thought I would take the stress off, but then I realized like it's the same thing. I gotta keep working. I can't stop working. Like I gotta stay healthy. I gotta make sure my grades are up and all that stuff. So it does build stress on you, but it's not like too much.
So during that time, what are you thinking? Do you experience, look, this isn't to, I would try not to make it uncomfortable or anything, but I do want to get into the honest feeling of it, the emotion of it, right? So are you saying to yourself, are you having some anxiety? Are you like, oh my God, putting undue pressure on yourself? Like, I gotta go out and I gotta make sure that I have a good game today, or else maybe they're gonna pull me from Wake Forest. Or are you like, you know what? It's done. I'm just gonna go out there and try to have fun and live in this moment. I just want to know where your head is.
So before I was committed, I was very anxious about every game. I wanted to do well every game. I still want to do well, but I had a lot more pressure on me. And once I committed, I was like, you know what? Now I'm like have fun now. Like I'm still gonna try to do best, win every game. But if I don't have a good game or I pitch bad, like just one game, like I know they won't pull my scholarship unless I like really like mess up.
Yeah.
But the coaches are amazing. Like they talked to me, they told me about that stuff. Like told me not to worry because I'm here.
I'm sure that they've been through it before, right? There's probably folks in your position that aren't as well adjusted as you, that don't have that ability to step back and say, it's fine, it's whatever. If I have a bad game, it's cool, because you're going to keep working and you're going to keep improving. Was there ever times where you were like, I either have to separate from certain people or I'm going to say no to this party or whatever, just because A, you want to keep your nose clean, or B, not really the responsible thing to do?
Well, there have been a couple times, and that's when I sit down and I realize like what they're doing, what you're doing, what you want to do, how it'll affect your like career path in your future. So there have been a couple times where I had stayed inside and just chilled at home.
Yeah, there was folks I knew that they had to make those same decisions, and some of their friends didn't understand what they were doing. They took it personally, like it was against them almost. He doesn't want to hang out with us anymore, when the reality was it wasn't beneficial to this person's future. And it seems that's probably what you were able to step back and say, that, you know what, this isn't going to really help, so it can only hurt. And even if it's not the most fun evening, it's better off for you in the long run, right?
Yeah, definitely. And my friends are great. Like they look out for me too.
That's
They
great.
understand completely like when I have my future and stuff.
That's awesome, man. A support system is so critical. How often are you putting into preparing for Wake Forest? What is your typical day? Because you're in the off season now, right? I mean,
Yeah.
baseball doesn't seem like it's on.
Yeah. Well, a typical week for me is like I work out 4 times a week and I'll try and throw Saturday and Wednesdays. And then starting January, my bullpens will start. And then, so I've just been getting prepared for the school season. And then I'll go down to Wake in July 4th or 5th. And there we'll start like practices and workouts. So I meet the whole team, all the freshmen come down. And that's like the important part of like,
Have you met any of your teammates yet?
yeah. So we've had a committed players camp last year in January where I met the kids for a couple days.
Okay.
And then my 3 visit was in November. So I met all the kids in my grade, all very cool and stuff.
That's awesome, because I was wondering how it would be, right? Sometimes when rookies come in, they get a little hazed, and it's fine. It's usually pretty playful. But other times people are territorial, right? They see somebody that could knock them off of the roster, out of the rotation, and they could be dicks. They could really try to make it hard on you. Do you even think about that? Or are you just going to go play?
I'm not worried at all about that because I've talked to a bunch of players that Wake right now, and the culture there is very different. Like everyone there wants to win, everyone there wants to compete, Everyone there is like a brother, and like it's a big family. It's a big reason why I chose Wake Forest because I was very interested in the culture.
What were some of the other schools in the running?
Well, I had Boston College, Virginia, Penn State, and Stony Brook.
Okay. So you went with is this really one of the major reasons you went like with that team? Understandably, you're still going to be a student athlete, so there's still going to be presumably pressure to maintain your
Mhm.
grades. And is that something you do now? How are your grades in your senior year?
Oh, my grades are good. I've had a 98.9 or 98.7 while over the past 3 years.
You
So
slacker, 98.7. You couldn't hit 99.
no, no, I was so annoyed.
That's great, man. Because look, hopefully you're one of them. But 10%, I think, is the stat, right? 10% of D1 baseball players get drafted, and that it's competitive. I hope it happens to you. That's what you're looking to do. You also have. It's good to have that something to have in your back pocket, right? Because you want to pursue this to the highest level, and hopefully it takes you there. But if it doesn't, what is it that you want to do, and how are you going about securing that for yourself?
Honestly, if I don't know what my plan B is, like right now, I'm just staying with plan A, and that's
Awesome.
all baseball, and takes me where it takes me.
No, it wasn't even a plan B, right? I was talking to the CEO not too long ago of this company that was been around 12 or 15 years, and it was spent 12 of those years in a basement of like a shitty building. And now they've blown up and it took all this time, but he was like, I never had a plan B. This is it. Like I would have run this into the ground. And that's, ultimately what you want, right? Because if you had the plan B, you might start putting one foot out the door. Do you compare yourself to other folks or do you block that noise out?
I try to block it out. I think comparing is not like a great way to do it.
Yeah.
So at my facility where I train, when people that are drafted or at like high level D1 schools, I just try to take advice from them instead of comparing. I'll talk to them about the game, like what they do here, how they do this, their off season, how they eat, how they train, all that stuff. So comparing skill set, I feel is like not the best way to approach it.
I agree. But some people do get wrapped into that. And I think it comes with maybe they're not as set in their abilities as you are. You know what I mean? Maybe they're nervous or anxious that they're going to live up to it. But it seems like you're in a good headspace to where you know what you want to do, you're going for it. And look, you're gonna ride it as far as you can. And hopefully that doesn't come down for a long time. I hope that's the case. How about social media? Do you go read what people have to say, or do you stay away from that deliberately, or do you not care altogether?
Honestly, I don't care. If I have a bad game, I know I have a bad game. I'm gonna block it out. Like I don't want to keep hearing it.
Yeah.
But if I have a good game, I'll definitely block it out too because I already know I had a good game. It's just one game. I still have another game next day or next week, and it's just one game.
So it's always looking ahead, right? So what's next? How you can improve? Are you somebody that harps on mistakes, or are you somebody that looks at them, learns them, analyzes them, and moves on?
Well, when I was younger, I used to kill myself for mistakes.
Beat
Yeah,
yourself up.
yeah, that was a big mental game. Just a baseball is it's all mental. And then my mom and dad got on me. They were like, "You have to stop caring. Like, let it go. It's just a game. Everyone makes mistakes." In the past couple of years is when I really like stopped caring. Like, especially pitching, the biggest mental game. One hit, and you get messed up, or one error in the field, and like you're going crazy. You gotta relax. Like block out the chirping, block out everything else. The whole game is mental. You got, like you fail more times than you succeed in every aspect of the game. And like you can't handle that, then there's no way.
Now you're able to compartmentalize and move forward. How has the game or your practicing or even your coaches or mentors helped you to develop that?
Well, also maturing in the game. I've matured a lot growing up, and my coaches have also taught me a lot. Everyone I trained with also be like, "Yo, like, just relax. You got this." Like, they've all taught me how growing up is and how baseball is.
Are you able to enjoy your senior year? Are you making sure you're having fun, or are you just looking forward to just getting out there to North Carolina?
I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm getting anxious for like the season in March. I can't wait. Every day is just day closer.
Are you going to redshirt? Or are you trying to make the roster? How does that work? Do they talk to you about that beforehand?
They haven't talked about it yet. I'm definitely trying to make this roster as a freshman.
Say someone's in younger and looking to you right now for advice to say, "Hey, I want to be, a D1 baseball player one day." What's the advice you give them?
You gotta figure out if you want the game or not when you're younger. Like you're growing up, you gotta figure it out. If I want to play this, I gotta put the work in. You gotta eat right. You gotta work out. Definitely enjoy the game, have fun, but you gotta figure out if you want it or not first. I figured it out when I was a little bit younger, and I worked out every day. And I played basketball too, so definitely like play other sports. Helps you like evolve in every aspect of the game.
That same kid is going to ask you, "What should I look out for?" What would you say?
Just be careful on what you do. Like everything you say is out there, especially in today's world. Like no matter what, it's always can trace back.
I really think that being on a team and playing team sports helps you a lot in life. You learn when to lead and when to follow. Even when you're the leader, when you're the best player in the team, the MVP, you still have to at some point take supporting roles. So you can't always be the person out in front. And that's important for some people to learn. And I think obviously you don't get that in individual sports like wrestling or something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think basketball taught me like leadership skills, which I transitioned into baseball.
Do you get nervous before you pitch? You're out there, you have to touch the ball every single play. Do you get the jitters? Do you get nervous? And does it just go away the minute you release that first pitch?
Yes, I definitely get nervous. I'll think about it a lot. As soon as I step on the mound, I'm warming up. I'm like, all right, this is what I came. Like, I've been doing this the past 12 years. Like, I can do this one more time.
Other teams, do they ever trash talk you, try to get in your head? And how do you block that out?
Yeah, so I do get trash talked. I usually don't talk back. I don't start anything. I don't talk back either, unless like it has to be like handled.
Hey, look, I get it. Look, sometimes, especially when you perform and you shut them down, there's nothing wrong with, letting them know that you heard them, it didn't phase you, and you came out on top.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, you gotta let your game talk first,
But that's also part of the mental side of things, right? Like that's the other thing. You have to, when you're out there, you have to be zoned in, really, like ultra focused. Even when you have, soft eyes and you're looking around and, trying to see if somebody's dancing too hard on a base or whatever, but you still have to be focused. And if you let that other stuff in, it's going to deteriorate performance.
Oh, definitely. No matter what level you play at, high school, college, like there's always the people who try to chirp you, who want to see you fail. You have to block that out and realize that like they want to see me fail. Like I'm going to go out there and do my best.
All right. So then this is the year where you really get to enjoy.
Definitely, yeah.
You're going somewhere after that's set. I mean, look, I was the opposite. I didn't really apply to many schools. I didn't really have a good support system to do that. So it took me, and I had to take a PG year. I had to take a postgraduate year at a prep school to get my head on right. Guys like you that I see are coming up and have it much more figured out. I think it's great because you're a step ahead of so many people, dude.
Yeah, I've had the best support from my parents, family, friends. So I'm definitely very grateful.
Cool. Anything else that you would say that you think is important for people to know, particularly about either achieving goals, setting goals, or being able to have the mental grit to fight through adversity?
I think definitely at a young age, you've got to figure out if you want it or not. I said it before, but it's probably one of the biggest steps to your process. If you want it, you got to work at it. No one doesn't work for you. Well, my mom always tells me that you got to do the work yourself.
Hey man, that's all I got for you right now. I appreciate the time. I know you're still in school. We totally forgot, and we were trying to book some time with you, and they're like, "Yeah, we can't do it until after 4." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Why?" Well, he's in school. Oh, that's right. He's in school. So,
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
all right, man. Great. Take it easy. Thanks for chatting with us today, Andrew. Good luck with the season. And thanks to GX for sponsoring this. And thank you. Look, you don't have to like, subscribe, or comment or any of that stuff, but it'd be a lot cooler if you did.